Peterlin to John Mochib bring up a first down for the Vikings of Pekiomen Valley as they get to about midfield with 2:10 to go in quarter number 1. Your Bucks with the touchdown by Kali Kuyate, and that's what accounts for the score. We're on the 48-yard line, first down. Peterlin, the quarterback, who's shown a pretty solid arm, but even better when he runs the ball.
Watch six. Stop.
He's going to stop and pass, and he'll hit number 6, Isaiah Domine. Domine for a couple yards. About 5 on the play. The 47-yard line will be the line of scrimmage for the Vikings. Single back set, 4 wide. Man in motion is number 9, Malik Smith. This time Peterlin's going to keep it. He's got a first down and then some inside the 30, inside the 25, and he'll step out of bounds. He'll get hit, but it was hit in bounds by Ventura. No foul there, although the coaching staff is calling for it. Not a foul at all. He had stopped dead in bounds, and Ventura drove him out, which is exactly what he should have done. But nonetheless, a nice first down run for Peterlin, 22 yards on the play. And we'll have a timeout. Interboro with their second charge timeout. Bucks, as we said earlier, come into the game at 2-1, opening win against Strathaven. And a little setback last week against Newman Goretti. In between a big win against Norristown. So,
what's the hit on Gino? What happened to him?
So,
Let them know. Anytime he goes in motion like that,
Perk Valley, they'll have first down at the 25-yard line when we resume play with 1:31 to go here in the first quarter. And really, in the early going, Perk Valley's been their worst enemy with a couple of very costly personal fouls that included the ejection of a player in the first quarter. But they've had a couple of quarterback keepers that went for big yards. This time it goes underneath to number 24. That's Brandon Schumpf. Stopped nicely for no gain. As a matter of fact, they're going to give him a loss of a half a yard on the play. Two wide receivers to the near end, 2 backs back with Peterlin. There's going to be an option to Smith, but officials blew the play dead. That'll be a false start on Pekiomen Valley. The 2nd and 15 we'll have. Substitution at the wide receiver spot. John Mochia comes in for Alec Jackson. 4 wide, 2 and 2. The man in the slot is Mochia, who just came into the game. Peterlin with the keeper. Peterlin. Real shifty and elusive, and inside the 20 to about the 19 or 18. So he's had some yardage on the ground, and really the strategy thus far for the Vikings has been pretty simple. Spread everybody out and let Peterlin work his magic. Now it hasn't yielded any points because that first drive they were really inhibited by that personal foul penalty, which derailed that drive. And then Interboro came down and they were helped by another personal foul penalty that extended the drive, leading to the Kuyate touchdown. And here we are almost through the first quarter. And now timeout for Pekiomen Valley. So we've had our fair share of delays, 3 timeouts and an injury. We're still waiting on a progress report for Gino Marcasano, who went out earlier in the game because of that personal foul that led to an ejection. He's sitting on the bench. He is upright. He does have his pads and uniform off, so it doesn't appear he'll be returning to action, but we don't know for sure. Bucks already without the services of their big left tackle, Noah Nickel, out with concussion protocol. He's hoping to be back in a few weeks. Andrew Grebe, the talented junior wingback, number 4, he's out as well. So the Bucks are definitely short-handed. Oh, 3rd down and 4. And a pass, and it's caught nicely. The pass was low, but it was caught by Alec Jackson, the tight end. But he's going to be a yard shy.
Come on, Mike, let's go. Dial up a blast. Let's go. This is where we want more coming up. Huh?
Yeah, we want to put more on linebacker, coach. Fire to their strength.
So Pekiomen Valley deliberating as to how they're going to tackle this 4th down play, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. So we'll switch sides, and after 1 quarter of play, 7-0 in favor of your Interboro Bucks. There's Assistant Athletic Director Joe Barrett going to fire some T-shirts into the student section and over the monster. So a little bit of extra mustard on that T-shirt gun. Going to fire one into the band, and a couple of young kids down low get that one. You see some of the cheerleaders trying to take the shirt right out of the gun. Barrett's going to hit me with one. Oh, he threw it. Maybe there was a gun malfunction. And that's all the excitement we can muster for in between quarters. It's whiteout night here at South Avenue Sports Complex. Buck student section dressed in white. Sans the baby powder. They've been instructed via a number of mediums. Oral instructions, written instructions, police warnings, tweets to not use the baby powder, and thus far they have not. 4th down play, and they're going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Kali Kuyate, Bird, and Ventura all stopped. Number 24, Brendan Schimpf, and the Bucks will take over. 1st and 10. And a great read. Great job of collaboration by the coaching staff. They knew exactly what to do and where to put their personnel. And Schimpf is stopped. And Jared Dell and the offense will start again at the 20-yard line. Well, it's Forte, the single setback. Forte 1st down on 1st down. I don't know if you noticed or not, but Dan Cullen there at that wingback position, normally occupied by Grebe, who really showed a lot of promise, I thought. Played very well in the Strathaven game. Drop back, and it's going deep, going for Convery, who had that great catch to set up the last touchdown. And just a little bit much on that pass by Della Priscoli, but Convery had his man beat. So you see Mike Moore trot in.
hands up. His hands up.
And jet sweep, Kuyate. And shades of a couple years ago when he really excelled at that slot position. 8 yards. 3rd down and 2 at the 38-yard line. This time Cole stretches out to wide receiver. And it's going to Mike Moore. Moore, 1st down and then some. Moore a load. Takes 5 guys to bring him down. Finally brought down. Forward progress will take him to the 44.
Baby, you got the edge. You're getting the edge on this, especially to this tight end side. That defensive end, I think he's your weaker player.
So around the 43 and a half is where this 1st down will take place. Forte, the single running back. Kuyate in motion. This time it's a pass. Convery. Ball down, and they're going to call that a forward pass.
Okay.
On the wide receiver screen.
Right. Are you talking about defensive end or defensive tackle, Louis? You're talking about their defensive tackle. I'm talking about
This time a more conventional I formation. Kuyate, not handed to Kuyate. Call with the catch inside the 45 and a 1st down for Dan Call.
You're talking about the down lineman, right? Yeah. Right.
On play action, get the ball out to Call, which is great. Good for his confidence.
Yeah, watch this outside backer to the
And ball thrown on a line by Della Pascoli. Great ball by the junior quarterback, making just his 4th start.
See how he comes out? He comes out to the jet, the outside linebacker.
Inside handoff this time.
Jet and then run the
Forte, not much.
trap left, right back in there. We could zoom that also and run a wham in there. We could just go I slot and zoom it and run wham left. You're going to get that outside linebacker out of there.
So 43-yard line, the line of scrimmage. This time we're going to go option. Kuyate on the pitch. Kuyate, 1st down and then some. Past the 35. And they'll move the chains. 9:24 to go in quarter number 2. Officials marked that ball to 32.
So if that defensive tackle holds the edge on this defensive zone, that's going to be a problem. Maybe we come back at the power or so.
This time it's Forte.
Hey, squeeze down.
And nothing that time, maybe a yard. And a ton of orange and white. A 2nd down and long. Stay tuned. I believe at halftime you're going to see the first glimpse at the band's field show, Rocky. I saw several members of the band looking through their sheet music, just brushing up today in class, so I'm thinking they're probably going to go and at least perform part of their field show. Kuyate to the 25.
If you zoom it, just zoom it and wham the left side.
And I see a couple band members now picking up instruments and walking down. I think that's confirmation that we're going to see a halftime show, which is great.
Okay, so you got Brett and Galliano combo blocking on number 5 down to the linebacker. Okay, all right.
Once again, looking for option, but Della Pascoli going to keep it.
Steps back. Phillips is like getting pushed back. The ball was away.
That'll be a 1st down for Della Pascoli. And the Bucks down at about the 16-yard line. Looks like they'll mark it at the 17. But Bucks moving right along. This is Steve Lennox football at its finest. Keep the ball on the ground and keep moving the chains and keep moving the clock. Tight eye formation. Kuyate this time up the middle. We're about 3.
Yeah, they know. Wing back sweep, okay. Who's in? Phillips is in on this? Okay. Now he bases up that defensive.
And we have a timeout.
He's basing him up.
The officials called this timeout, so I don't know
Right,
what.
I know. But this guy like sort of like pinches throws inside shoulder.
We have an equipment issue.
Call a timeout to keep him on there. For equipment.
George is saying
So
something
Ricky
about
Neal,
calling a timeout to keep him on.
and they're going to put Galliano in to replace Neal.
All right.
And Neal, one of your more experienced linemen. So obviously, you know, this equipment issue, not what the Bucks need, but they're going to get that fixed up. They're going to run Call to the outside. Call with a big, and looked like he got horse collared there, but he gets inside the 10.
Ewing got away with a hold. You better tell him.
And Galliano out, Neal back in, so that equipment issue is fixed. But Danny Call with a nice job on that sweep.
He hooked his arm around him. Yo, ISO right.
The rest of the line, got
Right, they move the
Billups,
little guy back in
Nick
now, let him
Ewing,
go.
got Wyatt McDevitt at center.
Okay. Oh man, we got angles here.
This time Kuyate, and he's stuffed behind the line of scrimmage.
Is that Neal's guy? Got ISO pass left. He wants to go that way.
And then Anthony Zizza, the other member of the offensive line, I failed to mention, and I apologize for that.
What do you go with? Double slants.
So 4th down and 3 from the 10. Bucks gonna go for it.
Out. Defensive ends are walking.
4 wide receivers.
3 linebackers.
Forte, the lone setback. He'll stay back and block. And Jared Dell's pass is way high, looking for Brett McLaughlin. But there was nothing he could do to get that ball. It was just a little bit too much juice on the ball. And Perk Valley will take over at their own 10 with 6:03 to go in the second quarter. But they have shown a propensity to be able to move the ball. Really, both teams have.
All right, watch them taking a shot, baby. This is where coaches like to take shots in your own territory. Loosen up our DBs.
28. Watch 28.
So 4 wide receivers for Perk Valley on 1st down. Keeper. And he'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Really, more or less because of a slip on his part.
They put 28 inside on the stop. Whenever they do that, he's getting a stop or a slant. Inside again. Tell Danny Cobb.
And they'll go with the
Trips.
3 wide on the near side, 1 on the far side. And Peterlin gonna keep it. Driven out of bounds at the 14. He got about 9 on the play, but it'll still be 3rd down and 6. But it does give Perk Valley a little bit more breathing room, as you never want to be inside your 10.
Right end's coming in. Pro. Waggle. Waggle. Watch Waggle. Waggle.
So a lot,
Watch Waggle.
2 men in the backfield.
Waggle. Here it is.
And this comes Peterlin. Fires it to Schimpf. Schimpf the first down. Convery finally wrestles him out of bounds, but not before a nice 20-yard gain or close to it for the Vikings.
You guys hear George yelling that at you? Zach, could you hear George yelling at?
So 32-yard line will be the line of scrimmage for the Vikings as they're out of their own cellar now. Opportunity to move the ball up the field with 5:05 to go. They continue to spread it out. This time 4 wide.
Jet sweep. No fake.
Peterlin under pressure, throws it up over the middle. That might have been picked. That might have been Ryan Dowdy, and it was. Ryan Dowdy with the interception. And Peterlin just tried to dump it off for a screen, and Dowdy was Johnny on the spot for the interception. And he told me in school today, I saw him and Mike Moore walking down the hall at the end of the day. And Dowdy turned to me and said, "You're going to be calling my name tonight." And I love that bravado. And lo and behold, Dowdy with the interception, and it's a big one as it gives the Bucs great field position. 36-yard line. Dell, a little bit hot again for McLaughlin. They're going to connect.
That was a bad pattern by Brett. Brett ran that flat.
I formation set, Mike Moore in the backfield. And they're going to roll out again. It's Della Priscoli. He fires. McLaughlin with the catch this time, but a little bit short. So really, it's 4 down territory, so 2 plays to get these 2 yards necessary for another first down. 27-yard line is the line of scrimmage. And once again, you have Moore and Forte. They went to Forte. Now, he didn't get it. Maybe he did. It looks like they're going to give it to him. Yeah, referee signals first down. I thought he was stopped short, but he fell forward just good enough to make the first down. To 25-yard line and a first down. Those similar formation, they'll keep Kali in the slot. This time it's going to go to him, Kuyate. A lot of room outside. Nice downfield block by Ewing. Kali back inside, and are they going to give it to him? They will. Touchdown. And a great run by Kali Kuyate. And that was set up on a real nice block downfield by Nick Ewing. And unfortunately, it's going to come back. I didn't see who the hold was on, but a nice run by Kuyate, all for naught. And it'll be a spot foul, so first down and 13. So it was around the time that he turned the corner and started to make a break for the end zone, and they called the hold there. Again, I don't know if it was on one of the tight end or one of the receivers blocking the field, but it was a well-designed and well-executed play minus the hold. Della Priscoli under pressure, steps up in the pocket nicely, runs into his own man but is brought down. Great persistence.
Snip,
Sack on the play. And it's made by number 44 of Pekiomen Valley, Nate Butler.
Kelly's out.
It's a 2nd down and 20.
Tight end's having a tough time coming across on this.
Dell once again the pass. Short to Forte. Not much.
Forte stopped running. You might want to try skip screen here.
So 3rd down and 20. With 2:38 to go and counting. And now, upon further review, it looks like Perk Valley's going to play halftime, which I've been hearing all day. And I don't really know why we're not playing halftime, but we are not.
What is it? Speed out left. Is it fly speed out? You got a fly speed out?
So 3rd down and 20, 4 wide. Dell back, pressure.
Running there.
Does get loose, but now he's got to cut back inside. He's going to keep it. Great individual effort, but it's going to be for just a couple of yards. He'll get 7 on the play. That's a lot of work for 7 yards. And he just didn't find anybody open. So 4th down, and wisely, Pekiomen Valley takes a timeout, which ultimately could have 2 really desired effects. It could give them extra time if Interboro decides to punt, or it could give Steve Lennox the desire to maybe, go for it and bank on it, even if they don't make it, that in a minute 49, Perk Valley can't get down the field. So we'll see what they decide. Now the Bucks band does go, so maybe they're both going to play. I really don't know. I'm at a loss for words. What I do know is that I'm hungry and I'm going to go get some hot dogs at halftime. As waiting for my post-game meal is just not an option right now. So Pekiomen Valley with the timeout. Bucks offense still on the field. Now there is sort of an in-between option here.
Quick hitch, pass.
So they'll line up Della Priscoli, and I kind of thought this is what they were going to do, and he does. Steve Lennox loves the quick kick. Hopefully it stops dead. And in the end, it winds up being, a 12-yard net average on the quick kick. And I kind of thought that's what they would do. But Perk Valley, a minute 41 to negotiate. Bucks will get the ball to start the second half as Perk Valley started with the ball. So
6 is inside, 28's down here.
that much we can look forward to.
Top, we got to worry about 4. Down here, you got to worry about 6 on a post. Watch 6 on a post. Tell Colleen to watch 6.
Florida.
Tell him to watch the post.
So 4 wide. Peterlin in the shotgun. And a nice ball thrown by Peterlin, but nice tight spiral. Unfortunately, it sailed 10 yards over anybody's head. And a good throw, and that's a touchdown because safety help wasn't there.
Four is the only threat up top.
And I didn't see that as I had my eye on the ball travel, and so they called a roughing the passer there.
4 and 6 are our only threats here, guys.
So a 15-yard penalty gives Perk Valley another first down with 1:35 left to go in the half. And I assume it was on Bird as he's the one that applied the pressure, but I don't know that for a fact as I was looking at the ball traveling downfield.
6 is out here on Dylan. Dylan's all by himself. Tell him to watch the fly, jet sweep. Now he's passing.
And it's Peterlin. He rolls out, and he goes over the middle, and he's got his man, number 6, Isaiah Demure, and he's finally brought down by Dylan White.
No, they had 28 on a wheel. Somebody left 28 wide open. Safety didn't watch him.
And a nice throw and catch. Isaiah Domine, and White did grab him. Now clock stops temporarily, 11 seconds run off. The official will start that when he's ready, which is right about now, and the clock starts again. Peterlin with the run.
Zizza got murdered.
He'll get a couple yards.
Pull Danny over.
So ball at about the 26-yard line.
Gotta bring Timmy over. Timmy's got to come over. He's got to bump.
Clock ticking though. We're inside a minute. Peterlin, the big left-hander, brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And that's Zizza, who got smashed on the last play. Nice resilience by him to come back and get the sack. And Perk Valley takes a timeout. 37.8 to go. See Jared Dell being worked on by the trainer. I don't think there's any cause for concern. I think it's just general maintenance. Hoping to get back there for the little, maybe another snap or two in this half, but it doesn't appear likely. Perk Valley with 37 to go. 3rd and 10. So they got 5 on first down, lost it all on that sack by Zizza.
Tell him to take the inside away from 4.
4 wide, Peterlin. Nice pop pass, and he's inside the 10. And this Peterlin throws a nice ball, and this is not an easy offense to run. You have to make very quick decisions, and they'll quickly down the ball, but it'll be first and goal inside the 10. So the ball's at the 8-yard line. They're going to run 3 wide receivers to the near end of your screen, 1 to the far end. The lone running back is going to be Schimpf. Back there probably for protection. You have Peterlin. He's going to keep. And good job by Dowdy getting him from behind. Pressure up the middle, that time applied by Joe Forte. So under 10 seconds, and now they spike the ball, and so
all right, they're in what, double slot?
now there's, I believe, a penalty on the play. I believe that's on Perk Valley. And it's all really going to depend if that was a play or not. If that was a no play, then the clock should run on the go.
Let's go.
But they drove him back. But we'll see if they decide to because this same thing happened against in Garnet Valley Upper Darby a couple weeks ago at the very end of the game.
What do you got in there? You got 5 and 24. Watch 5 and 24.
And the refs are going to deliberate. And I wouldn't be surprised if this very situation wasn't a point of emphasis at the referee meetings. They're going to try and kick a field goal is what they're going to do. Clock running. Kick is up and blocked. It's blocked. And, oh, man, Dylan White picks it up. Dylan, if he is going to be brought down via the collar at the end, oh, he grabbed that. I think he was just like, hey, is it a dead ball or not? He grabbed it. A clean pick, and Dylan White goes to the house for a touchdown, but still a very good block and a 7-0 lead for the Bucks at the half. Perk Valley Band going to entertain us, and then hopefully our band will do the same thing. We'll see you. Exciting first half. Not a lot of scoring, but we'll be back for the third quarter.
band is directed by Mark Cutts with assistant director Phil Newton and Daniel Neal. Boulevard director Donna Whiting Owen and additional instructions provided by Sean Williams and Chris Shaw. Percussion technique from Carly Collins and Williams and Williams Rouse. Thank you to Interboro Electric Band Movement for all the hard work and support of the band. The Interboro Electric Band is welcomed to the field by drum major Karen Hall, Alexis Corcoran, and Louis McCaffrey. Starlight Captain Delaney McCann and Anna Frank. Blue Line Captain Taylor Food. Our first selection, Eye the Tiger, will feature our drum line. Our second selection, Women in America, will feature Alexis Corcoran on vocals, Molly Travers on tenor saxophone, and Garrett on drum sets. We are very proud to present to you this year's Interboro Buccaneer Marching Band halftime show, Rocky. gentlemen, please welcome to the stage
Hello, Interboro. If you think America's the greatest country in the world, I want you to get up off of that thing. And if you feel good, put your hands together. We're going to make it funky. We're here to celebrate the East Coast, the West Coast, the North, and the South, no matter where you're from, because we're all living in America. One, two, three, four. Highway, coast to coast, easy to get anywhere. When there's no destination, stop behind the wheel. How does it feel when there's no destination that's too far? Somewhere on the way, you might find out who you are. Living in America, eye to eye, station to station. Living in America, hand to hand, across the nation. Living in America. I live 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 in America. One, two, three, four. Live in America. I live in America. Living in America.
And we're going to announce the 50-50 winner. Get your 50-50 tickets out. You have to really make those tickets come up to the press box. The winning ticket is 9459703.
Is this one yours, Jennifer, or is this one yours?
9459703.
All the rain that we can get. They put them all behind that cement wall back there. It's like all the body heat. Yeah, the visiting locker room. It's like a heat pump down there. From up here, it's like, not that there's any air moving, but
I'm the one that's in front of you. Make sure nobody trips over anything.
All right, rock and roll. Kuyate at the 5-yard line to start the third quarter. After what seemed like a long halftime, I don't know if that was maybe just me. A couple, 2 band performances. Perk Valley followed by Interboro. Great rendition of Rocky. You can't be from the Philadelphia area and not like the Rocky series. And, of course, the music, the soundtrack of Bill Conti. Incredibly inspiring. Good solid performance and a good theme this year by the Bucks band. And again, I want to cop one of those shirts. I got to figure out how to get one. So here we go. Kuyate in motion. It's Forte up the gut. The only way he knows. 9 yards.
Now, you know what? They actually sat in. They might have taken one step. They were pretty I don't think they even noticed the rocket motion. What do you got here?
It's a tight formation, I formation. Colin motion.
The backers started coming to it.
They're just fooling around.
Dead ball, foul, and said they're going to drive Interboro back. So I didn't see who jumped, but it's still second down at about 6 or 7.
That backer started going with the
Any foul costly, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, but I guess if you're going to do it early enough in the series. And second down and 7. Early on here in quarter number 3. It's Della Pascoli. Kuyate grabbed in the back. And number 44 has been in the backfield quite a bit during this contest. At Kevin Dela Cruz, that's a couple times in the backfield for him. So now third down and 9. Kuyate would take a loss of 4 on that. Kuyate in motion to him. He'll take it around the outside. Going to be short of a first down. The punt team will come on. And not really what the Bucks wanted to do with that opening series. They have a 7-0 lead, but as you can see, you know, Perk Valley can move the ball. They have some explosive athletes. They have a quarterback who I think not only throws a nice ball, but is very fleet of foot, very deceptive with what he does. They're an aggressive team, maybe a little bit too aggressive, which has been kind of their downfall. Della Pascoli to punt, and it's a wobbler that stops dead and is touched down at the 39-yard line by Joe Call. No return, which is really what you want. Danny Call. Joe Call was his brother. My apologies.
We haven't used more.
But decent field position for the Vikings. Also, decent crowd for the Vikings. They've done a nice job of traveling down 422 in the blue route to get their fan base here. And they've sat down and been very respectful during the contest, and we thank them for that. And also their band who entertained us during halftime. We also want to thank them, and a big shout out to their director for making the trip down. This is a non-conference game, not anything that affects their particular conference play. And it's a road game. Sometimes people tend to sit these types of games out. So shout out to both bands for playing. You saw a 3-yard carry on first down. And this is what Friday nights in the fall are all about. Enthusiastic fans, hot dogs, music, cheering. Doesn't get any better than this. And they go deep And Peterlin's throw intended for Isaiah Domine, who's been on the receiving end of a couple of those long passes already. And he was behind his defender, Dylan White, safety help from Convery. But the ball was overshot. A good throw is 6 for the Vikings.
Move him back. That's it. Good. All right, now he's coming up again. Tell him to stay back. Slant.
And Peterline. And a quick hitch, and they're going to call wow. And they might get Sorrentino with the same flag that they got. I wonder if they're going to call that a target, because now Sorrentino, all he was doing was his job there. The ball was in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, John Mocha, and Sorrentino laid a big hit on, but there is just, that's a very poor call if that is a call. And they are going to call a personal foul. And did they just eject him from the game or no? I guess they just called it a personal foul. I mean, I understand that we're, safety is the primary concern, but if you look at that versus what Gino Marcassano endured in the first half, we're talking about two totally different types of plays and two totally different end results. The keeper, Peterline, the keeper, after the automatic first down, and they have faked the sweep, and you get about 4 yards up to the 40-yard line. And again, I can't stress enough, I can't reiterate enough times that Perk Valley, although they had no points on the board, is a very dangerous team. They have moved the ball up and down the field. Now, granted, they were the recipient of a flag. Now, and there's also times where they can't get out of their own way. They've committed a couple of costly fouls and made some mistakes as well. But they have an explosive offense. Peterline, over the middle, the screen. Mocha, first down and then some. And that's Call hanging on for dear life. I'll tell you one thing, if nothing else, man, those Vikings, they finished the play. Up to the whistle and then some. But down to the 23-yard line.
Ford's in the backfield. He's running. Him and Ford are going to play games back here. Quick pass outside.
And Mocha, first down. Mocha down the sidelines, and he is in the end zone. 23 yards on a quick toss. And they're an extra point away from tying. And unfortunately, this is the type of stuff that happens when you keep teams in games. Extra point attempt. High snap, corralled nicely. The kick is through, and we're tied with 7:15 to go. And, Bucks with a couple opportunities in the red zone. So, too, for that matter, has Perk Valley, but both teams have scored once, and we're at 7-7. Gino on the sidelines, just in shorts and, his football shorts and his T-shirt, towel over his head, so no, no more football for him. And they'll tee it up at the 40, will Pekiomen Valley, and Interboro will go back on offense. Mike Weir, the kicker. Not the Canadian golfer, one-time Masters champion. He's the kicker. Shares the same name. Back deep, Mike Moore, Tim Convery, Khalid Kouyaté. And Weir with a good leg, as you saw on that point after attempt. And he will kick it deep, and they're going to Mike Moore. Moore with the grab at the 10, and he just looks for a seam. And flag on the play, as officials are wont to do on these type of special teams plays. So this is probably coming back. So they'll call that a block in the back, and Bucks will be driven back. They'll start inside the 20. Mark it at the 15-yard line, it appears. So Jared Dell gets the call from Coach Lennox. He'll let the boys know what they're going to do and be off to the races again. 7:08. Time on the clock in the third quarter. It's a handoff to Forte. Up the middle. 9.5, just shy of a first down. The same formation, I formation. And they'll go to Forte again. Not much, but enough for the first down. Chains will move. Tight I formation. Jared Dell to Kyle. Kyle doesn't get to the corner and is brought down. A very nice play. Great pursuit on the play. This was number 43 for the Pekiomen Valley Vikings. Max Nice. So 4-yard loss. 4-yard loss puts the Bucks a second down and long. Go under 5.5 to play, third quarter. Jared Dell, Convery. Convery cuts back inside, and he'll get about 6. Be third and manageable. Convery on the receiving end of a couple of Della Priscoli passes, including that big over-the-shoulder catch that he made down at the 10-yard line to set up the Bucks' one and only touchdown, which occurred way back on their opening drive of the game. And Forte first down. Forte is just a tough inside runner, man. Not afraid to take hits, not afraid to put his head down and try to run people over. And, you know, really 2 years of being the starting fullback, and as a running back does a very, very nice job. 37, the line of scrimmage. Under 4.5 to go. Kouyaté. Not a whole lot. Not a lot for Kali. He gave him 3 on the play. This call in motion, Kuyate. Can he get outside? He slips under a tackle, gets about 4 more than he should have gotten. Maybe 3rd and a long 3 for the Bucks. So I have Della Priscoli under center. Forte, the lone running back. And a stop. And was looking for Kuyate, but he just, there was some miscommunication there as Kali didn't turn around, or he went on the wrong route or something, because Della Priscoli was throwing in one spot and Kali was in another. And that'll bring up 4th down. And Jared Dell will step back to punt. The lone return man, Remy Sell. And this is a better punt. And it rolls. And Sell would be wise to get away from this. Brought down by Kyle. Nice job by Danny. Solo tackle. About the 13 or 14 yard line will be where Perk Valley will take over. But being back hasn't really affected them very much, as again they've shown the propensity to move the ball. 2 flags on the play. 3 flags on the play, so they either all saw the same thing or we have separate infractions. But either way, these things tend to almost always be on the receiving team for some type of an illegal block. We have, of course, I say that, and it's a personal foul against Interboro. But 3 flags on the ground, so everybody saw something, except for me, apparently. So they'll march that off. So what really should have been having Pekiomen Valley pinned back inside their 15 is going to give them now, at least average field position at the 30. And you've seen what Peter Line's been able to do in space. This is a very dangerous quarterback on the Pekiomen Valley side, and an offense that at times has confused this young Buck defense. And they're going to throw a dump pass to Mocha, and Mocha off to the races. Flag is down. He stops. Brought down by Convery inside the 15 to the 14, but I think this is coming back.
You know what, though? The guys have to see that.
Flag at the 38-yard line, and pretty much right after the catch was made.
He's got to see that.
So that's going to bring back this huge play. Well, 55 yards on the pitch and catch, and it's all going to come back. And on the spot foul, they'll actually lose 2 or 3 yards. Or none, but either way, it'll be redo 1st down. They'll lose a yard, so it'll be 1st and 11. And the flag was on the block once Mochi got outside. But he's been really their danger guy. I mean, he's the one person with speed, and if I'm sure you can hear the Bucks coaching staff over my microphone here, and they've been saying all game that he's really their one threat. Now, nice stick by Tim Convery. This time holding Mochi to about 3 yards. He's given forward progress all the way up to the 34, which is extremely generous. I think they snuck another yard or 2 in on us there.
Power eye. Bob's back in. Power eye. Go to Utah. Pistol, pistol.
So under 2 to go in the third. And Peterline, he'll keep. And great read by Zizza. Holds him to maybe a half a yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Vikings.
Zach, what'd he call on defense?
Zizza does a nice job staying with the quarterback and not falling for any type of shenanigans.
Wide 50. Cover 2 man, his call. Wide 50. Okay.
They're wide again. Look for that speed out.
So 3 wide receivers to the far end. Peterline, time to throw. He'll step up in the pocket now and take off. Flag down, so there should be a hold. On the play, enough yardage for a 1st down, but again, a hold, I think, behind the line of scrimmage. So they should drive them back and bring up a 3rd down and long situation.
You got a cramp. Someone's cramped up out there. Get the trainer out there. We got a cramp.
And in this case, because the hold took place around the line of scrimmage, it'd be 10 yards back. So they'll go all the way to the 19. And we'll have a 3rd down and 20.
Falcon or Florida?
Remember, holding a spot foul, so 10 yards from where it took place.
Okay. All right, it's Falcon. Loosen.
And they'll keep 3 wide.
Whitey needs to loosen up. All right, good. We'll come back.
Now motion. Peterline rolls out and bounces one.
Let's get one, guys. Let's get one.
This was intended for Domine. Convery back deep, along with Kuyate. Made magic happen the first game of the season on the fake reverse. There's certainly never really any secret for where punt plays are going or what the setup looks like. It's just a matter of can the punt team stop it. So we'll see if the kick, first of all, can be fielded. Mike Moore almost got to that. Running room for Convery, fake. And it is set up all the way down. Tim Convery can walk in if he gets one more block. Sorrentino, great block downfield, and Convery in. And it's all set up by the scheme. And that's just drawn up and worked to perfection, and Convery was not touched on that play. Fake handoff, and now it's the second time you've seen that work. And look, Convery will get his name in the paper, but that play is made because Evan Sorrentino made a heck of a block at the 5-yard line, drove his man back, and let Convery get in. So great job. And Tim, the kicker, is doubled over, probably a little bit exhausted, so they'll call a timeout. 15.9. As much as the coaching staff hates to burn a timeout with 16 seconds left for a stinking extra point, unfortunately, when the kicker is the same guy that just ran a punt back 54 yards for a touchdown, you kind of have to do it. And that's after playing, a series on defense. Now you see, if you pan the sidelines over there on Perk Valley, they have 75 kids on the team. Bucks have year after year somewhere between 40 and 45, maybe 50 on a good year. So you have a lot of the kids that are playing both ways and special teams. So this is why you see what you're seeing now, people who are exhausted. But I'll tell you, despite the numbers that Perk Valley has, Interboro almost always wins the battle of being in better shape, and that's because of the time that they put in the weight room, the time they put into the conditioning, and Camp Lennox being one of the toughest around. These kids arrive in shape and ready to go both ways.
Say that again.
So 13-7, and a big extra point as Mike Weir on the other team, their kicker, doesn't appear like he's going to miss one anytime soon. So you definitely want Convery to be able to drill this one through, which I think is another reason why Coach Lennox wanted to give up a timeout with 16 seconds left in the half. Now, Perk Valley jumped off sides, I think, and that is no good, but they did not call him offsides. They said he never made it across. Now, Forte is lobbying for the penalty, and I think he's correct in that, but no call, and Tim got under that one, and it's 13-7. So incumbent upon the defense to do their thing.
Hey guys, next time if we score, fire right there. Mental note. Mental note. Score again, fire right there. Joey, you on with me?
So a highlight reel play by Tim Convery, number 11, who has had a couple of them in this game, and that's his second punt return
Up to Mark.
in a row for these home football contests.
Right on the extra point. Fire.
He did in the opener as well. And the same exact blocking scheme, same exact setup. It's just a matter of, can the other team stop it? Do they have the way to combat that? And, that requires, obviously, a good plan by their special teams coach. It requires time in the film room and a lot of training. And sometimes teams shortchange special teams. And you listen to every good and successful coach at the college and pro level, and they say they spend just as much time on special teams as they do on offense and defense, because the special teams play can really swing a game one way or another. And you're seeing that right now. I mean, both teams moving the ball well enough but can't finish the job. And a special teams play may well do it. And it may be again. Ball loose on the ground. Can the Bucks get to it? If Perk Valley has it, they'll have great field position. If the Bucks have it, they'll have even better field position. But it looks like it's going to be Pekiomen Valley with the first down at the 40 to 41 yard line. So not really an onside kick, more or less of a squib kick, but it bounced around a little bit and gets people excited. But Perk Valley fell on it. First down for them. Cole Peterlin, sophomore quarterback, 6'1", 172 pounds, has played a real solid game. He throws a nice ball, fleet of foot, has done damage on keepers. It's going to be a keeper again. No, he's going to dump it off. This is Schimpf.
Where's the clip?
They get about 7 or 8.
Open your eyes.
Yeah, that guy needs to pay attention. He's asleep at the wheel. So, 13-7 at the end of the third quarter. And wouldn't mind hearing a little music from that Interboro band to start the fourth quarter. Looks like their instruments are drawn. They're up, so we could be hearing a little tune here. Even the student section a little bit quiet here. 13-7 is going to be our score with 12 minutes to play. All right, here we go.
Loosen Sorrentino up, man.
The band director says hit him with a little Hawaii 5-0 as we start the fourth quarter. Peterline once again with the keeper. He'll get the first down past midfield. That play's been there for him throughout this contest. He'll move the chain, start the clock on the ready. 47, the line of scrimmage. The action's on this side now. 3 wide receivers. The big lefty outside to Mocha, and a great way by Kuyate. Comes off the block and makes the stop for about a 6-yard loss. The tackle is impressive enough, but being able to come off that block is really what makes that happen. And Kali Kuyate, no more for his speed than his power, but does a nice job there, nice strength move, and brings down really their best threat, John Mocha, also a sophomore. Future looking bright for these Vikings.
I'm looking slants. 28 hands up. I'm looking slant. Or jet sweep.
A second down and 16.
Nope, out here.
Peterline.
Down here.
And his pass to Schimpf was a little bit heavy. Schimpf not enough to get to that ball. And really, I'd like to say it was a poorly thrown ball, but Peterline was under pressure. And he had to get the throw off maybe a split second faster than he would have liked to. He hits him in stride, we might be talking about a different story. So 3rd and 15.
What are we in, Coach? Utah? Watch 4 in the middle of the field. Tell Timmy Conberry to move over to the middle of the field. Tell Timmy to move over. They're not throwing 18. Tell him to move. Move, Timmy.
Sprint out by Peterline. Fires downfield. Kuyate almost with the interception. Great coverage by Kali, who is downfield for this one. So with the intended receiver, and truthfully, there's a play where a little bit more mustard on that throw might yield a different result. But Kuyate was able to jump up, knock it down, and force a punt situation. Now you saw what happened last time they punted. And Weir will kick it right back to Convery. This time it's a little bit higher, and wisely a fair catch.
Good job, Timmy.
And give the Bucks and Jared Dell an opportunity to take over 1st and 10 and hopefully whittle away a little bit of this clock. 10:32 left. And this is where a Steve Lennox drive is in order. Mike Moore into the game, also Kuyate, also Convery, so everybody. All the heads of state, all the main starters in there.
Mike's got to come out. Mike's got to come up on that guy.
And the sweep to Kali. Cuts up. 1st down. Kuyate past the 40, cuts back inside. Past the 45 to the 48. 22 on the play for Kali Kuyate. And a good way to start this series of offensive plays. Mike Moore out, Kyle in.
Jet truck, power icer.
Forte, the lone running back. This time they go to Kuyate again.
Almost. That corner is good.
And a one-legged tackle on the play. Max Nice, he's had a couple of solid tackles. That one kept Kuyate from going a lot farther than just 3 yards.
Jet truck left. Jet left, quick track. Okay. You got got the little guy on the nose.
Call in motion. This time they're going to Forte. Get about 4 more.
Eat up that clock. Tick, tick, tick.
And truthfully, this is really what the Bucks need. You know, 3 and 4 yards at a time. 30 seconds tick off after every play. Take your time getting the play in. Maybe not the most intriguing must-see TV, but it gets wins. And when you have a game that's maybe a little bit tougher than you expected, this is what you have to do. Forte again. And Forte, I would give him the generous spot for the first down. Not generous, I would give him the spot for the first down. We'll see. I think from where the umpire is standing, it's a first down. The referee calls first down, and Joe Forte gets a hold of the ball, is held up, keeps his legs moving, and gets a first down. Clock starts 8:33 and counting. By the time we snap the ball, it'll be close to 8 minutes. I formation. Pitch to Kuyate.
All right, good. We're about 2 yards short.
And Kali with about 6 or 7.
Hold, another hold.
Flag on the play. We'll wait on the official's call.
Is that Ewing again?
So that nice gain on first down is going to come back. They'll spot it at the 50-yard line, just inside the 50. So first and 18 will be the line of scrimmage right from midfield.
Fade motion, scissors. Fade motion. Did you say fade motion, scissors?
Dell, inside handoff. It's Kyle. Kyle gets back close to the original line of scrimmage. 7, close to 8 on the play. We have an injured Perk Valley, looks like. We'll see if he can trot off, and they do make a replacement. Guy who is a tad shaken up is number 52, Noah Shine. He trots off. 44 is the line of scrimmage. Second down, 11 and a half. Della Priscoli to pass. Nice block by Forte. Della Priscoli spins, tries to get out of trouble. And again, he's just holding on to the ball a little bit too long. And, you know, one of the things young quarterbacks do is they try to do too much and make something out of nothing. And sometimes you just have to cut your losses, rear back, and when you're out of the pocket, throw as far as you can out of bounds. And instead, we have a sack. And now it'll be third down and 19. .620 and counting. See what, if anything, is in store. Convery on the reverse. Can he turn it? Up to about the 45. So a 5 or 6 yard gain, but not enough for a first down. So fourth down and about 13, and I think the wise move here is exactly what they're going to do, and they bring the punt team on. See if you can't get Jared Dell to punt one away from Remy Sell, the return man. And see if you can't get the Bucks to down the ball, maybe inside the 10. Try to avoid any penalties. And another nice punt. And Sell's going to field this on 2 hops. Sell splits And it looks like Brett McLaughlin holds him up. Mike Moore finishes him off. And they keep him inside the 15. So a little teamwork there. And that wasn't.
Watch four out towards Kali. Four in motion out towards Kali.
So first down for Perk Valley.
Get out there.
For the record, I was right. That was Brett McLaughlin. Also for the record, Mocha is giving fits to the Interboro defense. And apparently, whatever has ailed the T-shirt gun has been repaired. I think we have a Sean Conti sighting down there in administration corner. Good to see your assistant principal Conti here. Not good to see Mocha with another catch and first down. As in short order, Perk Valley's gotten 2 straight first downs and has the ball up near midfield at about the 45-yard line. And with 4:49 to go, remember, they're just a touchdown and an extra point away from stealing one on the road. In what really would be, I would say, considered a real bad loss. Mocha. Lots of Mocha. Mocha is off to the races. Touchdown, Perk Valley. And there was nothing difficult about that. Inside handoff, ran a little bit off tackle, and off to the races he went. And we're tied at 13. Extra point pending. Mike Weir kicks the ball out of the stadium. So we'll see. Knee pressure up the middle. The young sophomore, Mocha, with a lot of speed, and really the quarterback and their main offensive weapon. Young sophomores, got to hand it to these kids from Perk Valley. The future looks bright. Weir spots it up, boots it through, and Perk Valley has their first lead at 14-13 with 4:37 to go. But the Bucks have the ball. They will have the ball after this kickoff. And you have one of the best play callers in the business, and you have a talented young quarterback, and you have a lot of people on the offensive side who can make explosive plays. We're concerned, we're not panicked. We have 4:37 to go. And you wouldn't want a better football coach out there, or a different football coach out there than Coach Lennox to try to guide this team back. 40-yard line, they'll kick it off. Back deep, you have Kuyate, you have Convery, you have Mike Moore. Any one of them can make the magic happen. Weir at the 30. He'll run up and kick it off. And we'll see how it goes the rest of this one. Bucks need a touchdown. And it's Mike Moore. A ball on the ground. And that wasn't what they needed, as Perk Valley falls on top of it and has fantastic field position at the 15-yard line. So with 4:31 to go, I just said it was time for concern and not panic. Might be panic time now. Especially if they're able to knock another one in. Now, if Perk Valley has any sense here, they'll slow it down a little bit. Try and take some time off the clock. Now, that timeout that the Bucks use at the end of the third quarter is going to loom large now because they may wind up needing that. That's funny because I didn't see. Inside the 10. That's Schimpf. And the hands on hips time here for the Bucks and the Bucks defense. Is they have to buckle down a little bit because it's 2nd down and 5. And clocks are running. And Perk Valley in no hurry whatsoever, nor should they be. They have 4 wide receivers, but the likelihood of them throwing is pretty much unlikely. Mochip, ball on the ground, and they blew that dead, but he was not down. That'd be interesting to see what they're calling. They're calling a 3rd down. I don't think he was down. And apparently a timeout was called, so I don't think that play even happened. No, I guess it did happen. 3rd down and 4. Good timeout taken by Coach Lennox, Coach D'Esposito. They need a stop here. Hold them to a field goal attempt, hopefully. Although I'll try and punch it in, but. Now, pretty much any play that's happened has come either from the quarterback Peter Line or the running back Mocha. That's been the explosive playmakers. So it's been a quarterback keeper. They'll draw those 4 wide receivers and bring the defense out wide, and then Peter Line with a keeper. Or they've been able to get the ball to Mocha in several different capacities. They pitched it out to him. They have handed him the ball. They have thrown balls to him in the flat. They've thrown the ball downfield to him. So they're trying their darndest to get him the ball. So honestly, at least 1 or 2 sets of eyes needs to be on him, if not all 11 sets of eyes on the. Mocha the tailback. And they're going to pop pass and a touchdown. And that's Remy Sell. And they just don't get over fast enough to cover him. Sell was wind up in the slot, and I think a lot of people probably expected. They sent Mocha in motion off to the right, and I think a lot of people were probably expecting a rollout, and Peter Line stopped and popped and found his man Sell, and it's a 7-point game, 20-13 with 3:15 to go, and this extra point will mean that the Bucks will need a touchdown and a 2, and that's through. So 21-13. How about it? I don't know that tune that the Perk Valley Marching Band is playing over there, but it's a happy tune. And it's well played. So 3:15 to go. So back deep, you have the triumvirate of Mike Moore, Kali Kuyate, and Convery. Fumble on the last kickoff resulted in a touchdown, which went from a 1-point game to an 8-point game. Now, this ball game is not over. Interboro certainly has the firepower to be able to score, get a 2-point conversion, possibly force overtime. Lots of things can happen in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. This was going to go to one of the up men. Brought down 25-yard line. Ball fielded going backwards by Zach Mufti. Probably not the guy they wanted, the ball in his hands with Kali Kuyate coming forward, but 25-yard line. And Jared Dell really with the test. An opportunity to come back and possibly tie this ball game up. And not a lot of time to do it. 3:09 on the clock.
Timmy's got to run this guy off. He's got to really fire out of it.
And they were looking for Kuyate out of the backfield. A little bit too much mustard, and the ball thrown a couple yards ahead of Kali. The 2nd down and 10. And the design there is to have Convery run and then run a post inside and hope to draw the defense inside and leave a lane for Kuyate to go down the sidelines. But, of course, the completed pass is necessary to make that play work. So to Kali. And a great stop by Mocha, who is just, all over the field tonight. Offense and defense, this guy has really been a thorn in the side. And I checked it, that's not Mocha, that's another thorn in their side. This number 43 has made a number of stops too. And that's Max Nice. And that was a nice tackle by Max Nice. 3rd down and 8, 2:50. I suppose if anything can fire up the Bucs offense, it's Gary Glitter. We're willing to try anything at this point. Backs are in the eye. 3rd and 8, Della Priscoli to Convery. Hook and ladder. Kuyate down the sideline. Can he turn the corner? Past midfield. Well executed hook and ladder. And man, he was one step inside from taking it to the house. But a 1st down. An old Steve Lennox favorite there. 49-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Half a step away. But that's all right. Life breathed into the Bucs. 1st and 10 from the 49. Time, not yet a factor. Della Priscoli, looking, floats it up. Threw it in a spot where nobody else could get it but an Interboro Buck. The ball was out of bounds. And I think the ball was probably going to be intended for Danny Call, and he saw the safety creeping over and decided not to throw it. That was a wise play on his part. Pass batted down at the line of scrimmage. Alec Jackson. And he got all 6'4" up in the air and batted it down. 3rd and 10. Looking for Kuyate. He checks. He floats it up. Kuyate doesn't turn around. The ball out of bounds. 4th down. Fourth down and an opportunity to keep this game going on. Bucks down to 1 timeout, so really it would be nice to get this first down because you're going to give Perk Valley a chance to run one play, stop the clock with a timeout, and then they can pretty much might not be able to kill the entire rest of the game, but they get it down under a minute. Kuyate and Convery, the receivers. And we have a timeout by Pekiomen Valley. So they wanted to take a look at what they had, the Interboro, and I would imagine it come out maybe a different formation this time. So 2:23 left, a hard-fought game, and this play is really for all the marbles as Interboro needs to get 10 yards, hopefully get a first down. Go. 2 minutes left. I'll give you a call in a second, okay? Okay. Can edit that out, perhaps. So Perk Valley DC sees what is Interboro has in store. Kuyate lined up on the far side, Convery lined up on the near side. Calls timeout, and now we'll see if Coach Lennox has something a little bit different. Same formation. Della Pascoli downfield, and it's going to be overshot by about 10 yards. Perk Valley will take over with 2:17 to go. Bucks have a timeout. 1 timeout. Really, a first down will end this ball game. And not for the good guys. Now, you would think Perk Valley will do something safe on first down, get the timeout, and then once they can run the clock, see what, see about trying to get that first down. But who knows?
Strip the ball. Go for the ball. Guys got to go for the ball. They got to strip the ball.
Goes without saying, but defensive staff imploring the Bucks defense to go after the ball, but of course, Vikings ball just shy of midfield. Mocha. He gets a nice 5-yard carry. And they'll save the timeout for the time being. Get that ball spotted. And they'll be able to run another 30 seconds off the clock. And if you're Perk Valley, you are not in any kind of hurry. Five yards to go for a first down, 5 yards to go to pretty much end all hope. And they'll wait till the last possible second to snap it. Keeper. Kuyate, Dowdy. They stop him just after about a half a yard. 105 in counting, so it looks like they'll try and get the stop here and then call timeout and hope to set it up for a punt return. But, I mean, if they're lucky, they're going to have a little bit shy of 20 seconds left.
57 minus 25, 32. We should get it at the...
Perk Valley may very well call a timeout here, as they're not in any. And they do. This is a big play for them, too. I mean, if they want to end this one and not have to, you know, worry about punting the ball away or worry about trying to, you know, something on fourth down, run around with the clock or whatever. They could get this first down, the game's over. They don't get this first down. And then, you also have the question of, do you want to try and pass? Because if you pass, you give Interboro a little bit more time. And you allow them to save that timeout, perhaps. So you would think conventional wisdom, if your Pekiomen Valley staff says run the ball and just take your chances and try and get the... Both teams 2-1, looking to improve to 3-1. Tall order if you're the Bucks. You're 8 points down. All you really want is a ball in your hands and an opportunity to try to somehow get a miracle play and get the ball in the end zone and then hopefully get another miracle play and get a 2-point conversion. But none of that's possible if they can't get a stop here. 4 wide. Peterline. He'll keep it. He'll get the first down easily. Flag is on the play, though. Flag is down on the play. Flag is on the play. So, Cole Peterlin, his carry down towards the 30. If it stands, it's a first down, and this game's over. It's a hold, and it's coming back. Clock stops. They'll run another play, though. 3rd and 9.5, close to 10. But either way, I mean, they're going to get a chance to run more time off the clock. You know, if you're Peterlin, you run the ball around a little bit. Now, they started the clock. And that's left on the board, but that's going to be it. Well, chalk this up in the I didn't see this one coming category. Perk Valley 21, Interboro 13, Bucks fall to 2-2. Tough loss. Tough loss. Be back at it next week. Penn Charter. Be back here in 2 weeks for Penwood, first Del Valle League game. We'll see you then. Take care.